In the personal story segment tonight, the power of Palin. When Sarah Palin went on her Facebook page last weekend, worrying that the Democrats' health reform plan would include death panels, she kicked up a storm that no one saw coming. And now, key senators say they will exclude an end-of-life care provision from their legislation. Joining us from Las Vegas is Amanda Carpenter, a reporter for the Washington Times, and from Los Angeles, Matthew Littman, a former speechwriter for Joe Biden. Now, I want to start with you, Joe, because it seems like Friday nights, you're always on the show Friday nights when I'm hosting. And I want to start with you about the power of Palin. Was she able to move this debate with the death panel branding? Because it seems to me that really resonated with a lot of folks across the country.
I think it resonated with some conservatives, and I think more importantly was that Charles Grassley basically repeated what Sarah Palin said the other day. Of course, as it turns out, what Sarah Palin refers to as death panels, she was for a year and a half ago when she was governor of Alaska. So this is the usual back and forth between Sarah Palin and Sarah Palin.
How so is she in favor of death panels?
Where she can't. I could read this to you. When she was governor of Alaska, she came out for the idea of talking to people about living wills, of the government having paying people back for their living wills. And she came out and said that that was a good idea, and talking to people about end-of-life care in advance was a good idea. Some health care day or something in Alaska.
Was that for doctors being given
up.
Incentives? Yeah, well, I'm not sure she favored doctors being incentivized to give people those kinds of consultations and have those discussions. But Amanda, what's clear here is that Sarah Palin, like her or not, seems to be able to really get under the wisdom tooth like a raspberry seed of the left in this healthcare debate, all the way from Alaska, even though she's no longer governor.
Yeah, I mean, all she did was issue a Facebook statement on August 7th, a Friday night at that. And then less than a week later, it's that provision that she's talking about is out of the bill. I know of no other Republican that has been able to break through, the medical debate over this issue. She got President Obama to talk about death panels and grandma in the same sentence. I mean, that would not have happened otherwise. I think she's making a really powerful offensive move and separating herself from other Republicans. You have guys like Bobby Jindal talking about how to make health care bipartisan, and she's just saying, no, this will end up to rationing care. And clearly that has a lot of powerful influence.
Now, Matthew, she mentioned something in her blog yesterday about Rahm Emanuel's brother, who has had some involvement in the health care debate with the White House, had talks to the White House. And what one of his analyses involves is something called Complete Lives system, which is a way to allocate resources based on someone's age and past infirmities. It's some type of calculation on how to look and assess people's current condition. And she's concerned that, obviously, because the brother, Rahm, is so close to the White House and he's been consulting, that this could end up having some influence in this process. Do you think that's overstated or real?
Well, I'm sure that it's overstated because it's coming from Sarah Palin. I have to tell you, I don't read Sarah Palin's Facebook page and I don't follow her on Twitter. And when she's on VH1 dating Flava Flav, which is what I expect in a few years, then I'll follow Sarah Palin. In the meantime, I don't take her seriously.
Hey,
Flava
okay,
Flav.
Matthew, here's what I don't get is that the Democrats are like getting smashed in the debate right now by insulting people, by insulting the people who show up at the protests. You will say nasty things about Sarah Palin. She's actually trying to engage in a conversation about
I don't think that
what she believes.
I disagree with you.
Yes, she is.
I disagree with you.
She's actually an individual citizen.
I think that thing about death panels
no. She's
was
an
a made-up
individual
thing.
citizen
I totally
out.
disagree with you. I don't agree.
And for you to make some slam on her, which I think is, I don't like calling things sexist because I think it's overused, but I think your little comment about her just now reveals just how positively desperate the Democrats look. They called the crowd out there at these town halls. They were the mob. They were the cable chatterers. They're influenced by militias. They're practically the racist Yahoo fringe. This is what they've done to the people of this country. The more they do that, the more popular both the town hall protesters are and the less popular Obama's health care plan is. But Amanda, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that Matthew took it there because she's obviously resonating with Americans, on this issue. You don't have to agree with her on everything. She's resonating on this.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that she can get people to talk about death panels and health care. And, really, if Democrats really didn't pay attention to what she thought and just dismissed her as a failed vice presidential candidate and former governor, I mean, she wouldn't have this influence. But what is really interesting about what Sarah Palin is doing is that she is talking directly to the public through Facebook. I mean, this is a pretty innovative move for a leading Republican like her, not to go through consultants, not to use PR spin.
Right.
I mean, she's talking. She's saying what she wants to think. If you want to see someone who is genuine, who talks about what she wants to talk about, who isn't doing all the PR spin, it's Sarah Palin. And, a lot of people don't like that she can inject that into the public debate in the way that she's doing. And, Matt, you're one of them.
Matthew,
well, I don't think that she's genuine. I think that she's a complete phony. I don't think she's genuine at all. And it's proven by her track record where she takes two sides. It's not a personal attack. Laura, the fact of the matter is that Sarah Palin takes
she should be dating Flavor Flav. That's not a personal attack.
Do you have a question? No, I think that's a compliment for Sarah Palin. I think if you're asking me, I think Sarah Palin is on both sides of every issue.
I think what unwittingly you have shown tonight is that the Democrats, they got nothing left. So the throwing up anything against the wall and demeaning people, I don't think it's working. It just as a matter of political strategy, you might get a few yucks. You might get a few yucks from the left.
Do you want to bet me that health care passes? Do you want to bet me that health care reform passes?
We'll see. I hope so, for God's sake, for our country.
You'd probably make more money that way.
Both of you. We're out of time.